Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, July 11th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple of clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we're going to take a look at PLUG. Been tracking this one on a very routine basis, and today had a little bit more of a pullback, but this is where it all comes down to context and perspective. What do I mean by that? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, maybe you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 10 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart's looking pretty shaky because the price did pull back from both those areas. Now, on the flip side of things, if you care about just the grand scheme of it all, the bigger picture, then even with the pullback here, the chart is still perfectly fine. Because even if I adjust this area of support down to here, and we'll call it $1.62, even if the price were to come down to $1.62, and I'm not saying it will, but if it came down here, behave like that, and then started to curl back upwards, emphasis here on big picture. But from the big picture perspective, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows here. You'd have lows down here. You'd have lows here. You envision those as stair steps, and you'd still very clearly have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So even with their bigger pullback today, the price still has plenty of opportunity to build a higher base, and that's the name of the game from a trend building standpoint. Unfortunately, no pricing goes straight up. There are going to be pullbacks along the way, but as long as those pullbacks are building higher bases, that is by far the most important thing. Now, yes, we still do have this overarching area up here at $1.85 as far as resistance levels. But now that we have more data, I'm going to go ahead and put in another area of resistance that I think a lot of people are probably going to be keeping a close eye on right there at that level. Let's keep it a little bit different. So keep an eye right there on that trend line. Also, in the event the price does try to curl back up. But again, assuming you care about the big picture point of view, the bulls are still in control. Next one here, WOLF, and same as what I talked about with plug, all kind of depends on perspective. Again, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, and you're buying up here or buying right here, then yeah, things are looking pretty rough. But from the big picture standpoint, the chart's still hanging in there. But even from that standpoint, to be objective, things are starting to look a little sketchy. Now, I'm still going to give the advantage to the bulls, but you also have to just call it like you see it. And the problem right now is that the price is now broken down below that purple line, the 50-period moving average, and not by a little bit, but now the price is actually separated quite a bit down below there. Again, does that mean that the overall entire chart is destroyed? It doesn't, but it does serve as a red flag and leading indicator that maybe the bulls are officially running out of steam. But what I would definitely consider and call the muscle level moving forward is all about the pink line down here, which on my chart denotes a very well-known, the very famous 200-period moving average. So again, I'm not saying this is what's going to occur, but if the price were to go down to that level and then break down below it, that would be a kind of the nail in the coffin, in my opinion at least, and just illustrating that the bears have officially taken back over control. So that is certainly going to be a key area of support if the price revisits down there. As far as areas of resistance are concerned, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that level because at this point, the sooner the price can get back above the purple line, the better. So that'll be the main battleground to watch moving forward. Next one here, GIBO. Big volume today on this one, and now we have ourselves a nice pattern here that I'm assuming a lot of people have drawn. And I make that comment because, let's get this back to, there we go, normal. Because when a lot of people are watching the same patterns and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movement. So let's get that changed to support. And then let's just map out the entire pattern here to make sure that everybody can see, what I see in my mind. But we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. We have the nice upwards move right here. And then a few golfers out there, make this a little more visual for you. Put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go upwards. But would it be shocking? Would it catch people off guard if the price all of a sudden decide to do something like that? Absolutely not. Not shocking at all. So again, is this guaranteed to happen right there? Absolutely not. Is it a valid question to throw out there as a possibility? Absolutely. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ABVE, and same general idea of what I just talked about. So I'm going to go through this a little quicker. We want to respect your time as much as possible because you just heard me talk about this pattern, but we have the bottom part of the pattern right there as our resistance. We have the top part of the pattern up here, generally speaking, as the, did I call this a resistance down here? I can't remember what I said. This right here is the support, the green line. The red line up here is the area of resistance. And then it's getting close to Friday. It's almost Friday. But keep it all the same. We have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big explosive move right here, and then yes, we have our golf hole down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So this one had a great amount of volume, good solid pattern here. So we'll see what it continues to have to offer over the next couple of days. Next one here, BTCM, and a pretty crazy day when you just stop and think about it. When the price opened up right here. I'm sorry, not opened up, but it opened up right there, went as high as right there, and then after that, things got very shaky, and the price started to drop and drop and drop. And, down when the price gets right around there, it becomes a more than valid question to throw out there, is this just a gap and trap? Is this some sort of pump and dump? What's going on? And we got our answer, and seemingly not. Because not only did the price level out, it's actually now got a little bit of an upward slope to it. Now, that does not mean that for sure guaranteed this pullback is over, and for sure guaranteed the price is going to go, head back upwards. But it just becomes a whole lot more valid at this point in time. Case in point, let's say the price was still just doing something like this, and I'm then sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like the price might head back up. You'd be totally justified to say, wait, what are you talking about? Based on what? The price is literally just dropping straight down. But that's not the case here, right? It has leveled off. It has gotten an upwards move to it. So that still doesn't guarantee anything. But like I said, it does make it at least plausible that maybe the bulls are starting to step back in. So let's get this area of support into play. And then in terms of the key area of resistance, I would say the key battleground to watch, if there is going to be any sort of attempt to move back upwards, right around $6.60. So nasty pullback for sure, but the pullback seems to have stabilized. So we'll see if it can curl back upwards on Friday. Real quick, wanted to take a break and just offer you up a potential solution to a problem that you may be having. If you are somebody that falls under the pattern day trading rule, you'd like to be a day trader, but you don't have the $25,000, so you're limited to the day trades. This is a solution that can get you totally around the pattern day trading rule and make you a day trader. Day trader being defined as you have unlimited day trades. You can trade as much as you want every single day. So if no pattern day trader rule sounds good, if trading 23 hours a day, 6 days a week sounds good, and a $50,000 purchasing power for only $102 sounds good, then make sure you check out that link you see there. I'll also put it down in the description box, and use code CLAY at checkout because that'll make all that possible. Maybe this sounds too good to be true, but it's the exact thing that I've been doing now for several months. It's all legit. It works. You make money. And it is a way, like I said, specifically for those of you that are maybe annoyed by and suffering under that pattern day trading rule. So if you want to learn more, definitely go to that link and then use code CLAY at checkout. Next one here, taking a look at NVDA. And with this one, we now have a very, very well-defined level. So it goes back to those potential self-fulfilling prophecies where when you have a level that a lot of people are watching, a lot of people are wondering the same things. That's what we have here, at least in my opinion, with this area here at 164.40. Just going through the history of the chart, you can see rejected the price a couple of times, rejected the price, and then rejected the price, and then even this afternoon rejected the price. So that's not to say that that 164.40 mark cannot be broken or anything like that. It is to say that there's probably going to be a lot of eyeballs watching that area and to keep that moving forward. And if the price does break through there, again, no guarantees, but more than valid to think that any sort of break of that level could spark a whole nother round of upside buying pressure and momentum. And then in terms of areas of support, a couple different ways you could look at this. Ideally speaking, if you say, hey, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price could stay up here above the 162.50 mark. But from the big picture point of view and just the overarching viewpoint of things, just continue to watch that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. And as that line moves higher and higher, as long as the price stays above there, then overall the trend is still fully in the bull's favor. Next one here, looking at BTOG, and we have ourselves another one of these bull pennant patterns. So again, to respect your time, I'm going to just go through this quicker. So we have the upper part of the pattern right there, the area of resistance. Down here we have the lower part as support. And then just to make sure that everybody sees the pattern, let's keep it the same color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big upwards move right here, we have the golf hole down here, and this would be the bull pennant pattern. So if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, certainly keep an eye on BTOG. Next one here, SAFX, and this is a very, very ugly looking chart. There's no need to beat around the bush, but for you longer time viewers, you know what I'm going to say next. There can be opportunity in the ugly. But to think, I mean, this is a true story. There are some people that were buying up around here today. Hopefully those people use a stop loss because, yes, after that, things just absolutely fell apart. But this is what makes it interesting moving forward, is this price movement right here. Notice how it bounced right off of that pink line, which in previous examples talked about that being the 200 period simple moving average. And that's why it's one of those areas that still never guarantees anything, but it makes it a plausible and a credible thought to think that, you know, when the price is above that area, it could potentially bounce from it. And that's what we had right there. The price did indeed bounce from it. And after that, the price is now starting to go sideways. Now, again, as I mentioned earlier, just because there's this nasty pullback, just because the price going sideways does not mean the price is going to go up. But it is certainly a more than valid, a more than rational scenario and question to throw out there. So if you like these scenarios where things are indeed looking pretty ugly, but then you're starting to get some glimpses, you're starting to get some behavior from the price action that suggests that maybe, just maybe, all the nastiness is finally done and maybe there's going to be a little bit of kind of light at the end of the tunnel, then certainly keep an eye on it. You certainly got to be very disciplined for these. You don't want, well, I mean, you should be disciplined any type of trading scenario, but especially with these setups, you don't want to, you know, turn yourself into a bag holder. But if you can be disciplined, then yeah, you can certainly structure yourself some very solid risk versus reward scenarios. Next one here, STKH, and maybe you see what I'm going to talk about right away, but we're going to fly through this one because, yes, you guessed it. Well, maybe you guessed it. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. So here is our area of resistance. Here is our area of support. And I know, I can't help myself, though. I just want to make sure that everybody actually sees the pattern. So let's keep it one color. We have our resistance. We have our support. We have the huge explosion right there. And, of course, we have our golf hole down here. So here's yet another bull pennant pattern. So if you are somebody that enjoys bull pennants, we got all sorts of variety. We got penny stocks. We got this one around the $5 mark. We have ones, even more than that. So definitely a good variety for everybody if you are a believer and a fan of the bull pennant. Next one, TSLA Tesla. Very, very good day. Not necessarily because it was such a green day, but, and this will mean a little bit more to those that have watched the videos all week, but we've been, just tracking. Okay, the price was right here. That's great. The price got above here. It pulled back here, and this is the key dynamic. Even on that pullback from that day, the lows were right here. These lows were down here. So you still had the stair steps, and now you have new lows that are up here. So you can see that Tesla continues to build these upwards moving stair steps, and that is indeed the name of the game, assuming you're bullish and want to see an uptrend. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines now as they serve their purpose, and we'll map out some new key levels. So the ideal level here on Tesla that would make it look the healthiest and strongest moving forward from the support standpoint would be if the price can stay up here above the 304 mark. But if it doesn't, not the end of the world, because the price is still nicely up above that purple line. In fact, if you look closely enough, you can see how that purple line has actually started to curl back upwards. It's now pointing in the upwards direction, and the longer the price stays above that purple line, the further and further the price is going to continue to point upwards, and that's what you want because that's illustrating that the trend has turned itself back around. So staying above that purple line ultimately is the most important thing. And then in terms of battlegrounds and next areas of resistance, looking like the next potential big battleground here that the bulls will have to fight through, right up there around 312.75, followed by that pink line up there, 200 period moving average. But all in all, very nice day here for Tesla. Good to see that these stair steps continue to be built in the upwards direction. So we'll see if the bulls can continue on with that construction moving forward. So that wraps up the top 10. But again, if you do have the problem of wanting to be able to make as many day trades as you want each day, but not being able to because of that very annoying pattern day trader rule, then definitely check out this right here, because again, there is zero pattern day trader rule. You have unlimited day trades every single day. And the market that I talk about here is open 23 hours a day, 6 days a week. So again, go to claytrader.com/take profit and use code Clay, and you could get up to 50K in buying power. Actually, you could get more than 50K in buying power if you wanted to. But for this one, it's only $102, assuming, like I said, you use code Clay. So if you want to learn more about that, then definitely check it out. But yes, believe it or not, you could literally become a day trader today, have unlimited day trades. You just got to go to that link and start to learn more.